The most progress that we've had was while under that label. He put the song in a skit. The skit ended up doing 30 million views. Blaine and Davinci, the music they got, like, they're not out yet, but the shit they got could easily compete with anybody that's out right now.
We call ourselves CiiiTY, but we global. And everybody that has a voice is allowed to be vocal.
Yeah, man. So, you already know I've been keeping up with you, been a student and a fan for a minute now. So good to have you on the podcast, man.
Hey, man, it's good to be here, for real.
Yeah. How you been?
Been all right. Been good, working, and like the usual stuff. Yeah. So
Yeah, but like I said, bro, I mean, I've been keeping up with you before the music. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's before the music. When you were strictly on your videography stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was never really strictly videography, but like what I was putting up was a lot of videography.
Oh, you weren't putting out the music.
Yeah. I think like during that time, I was putting out like 4 to maybe 8 songs a year.
Okay.
And that's not enough.
Yeah.
That's not enough at all. So, yeah. So.
Yeah, but I've seen the work you've done for a few artists around the city. Mainly Blaine Legendary, because I was following him at the time, and you guys were working on.
Yeah.
Are you guys part of the same like label or sort of?
Yeah. On the label it's me, Blaine, and another artist. He's from Miami called Davinci.
Okay.
He's probably gonna change his name to Baby Zeus Davinci, but it's Davinci. So yeah, it's a indie label. It's called Contingency Entertainment. So we just,
So it's just it's like 3 or 4 of y'all?
3 of us now, as far as the artists. Yeah. So
That's been around for a while, or has the name changed? Because I don't remember like hearing about it then.
No, yeah, the label is new. It's a year old now. It started last year.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just because you remember when I was doing videos, I was doing videos for artists like Blaine, and so then during that whole process, I keep like meeting people who kind of like understood that I was versatile. Like I can, because I was mixing for people too, like as far as like their vocals, like I was producing beats as well. So it got to a point where we just decided to bring it all together. And I've known Blaine, so of course he had to kind of like be part of it. And then I met Davinci doing a film, and then it's funny because he was like, "Yo, I can rap, and do you have any beats and stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And then I ended up sending him beats like way later, and I'm like, "Oh shit, this guy's good."
Yeah.
And then we kind of like hit it off, and then now we just.
So he was like playing a role in film, or
no? He's also a shooter. So we were the production team. We were part of the production team for Blex Flex. I don't know if you know Blex Flex, but he's a comedian. He's a Haitian comedian, and so we met like that. And then when I finally sent him beats and I heard his stuff, I was like, "Yo, this guy, like he got it." And then kind of like became a thing, and then so
you're not the only one like versatile. You guys all do more than just one thing. So I feel like that just adds so much much potential to what you guys do.
100%. Because Blaine was in a couple of the short films that I used to do. Like he used to act in those. So
he would act, model.
Yeah.
And I know like he's a very business minded individual as well.
Hell yeah. That's why I rock with him. Like he's always looking for opportunities to kind of like get to that next level financially. So it's kind of like, like he's a really dope dude. Yeah, he is.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Contingency is the record label.
Yeah.
Year now. What have you guys accomplished within like from that 1 year mark? You guys have been around.
The most progress that we've had was while under that label.
Yeah.
So when I started taking my music seriously, it was when I got playlisted by Spotify. At that time, everybody was trying to get playlisted, and that was in 2017. Out of nowhere, they heard my song My Ex and they put it in a playlist, and then I just started like getting streams. So I'm gonna assume that the only reason that the song got where it got is because of my friend Blex Flex, because he used to be really big on Facebook. Yeah. So he made a skit and he said, "Yo, do you want me to put the song in there?" I'm like, "Cool," because he's a really dope guy. Like, he would help out anybody. So I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So then he put the song in the skit. The skit ended up doing 30 million views on Facebook, right? And then I was getting emails and like comments and messages. This music supervisor from MTV had hit me up and he was like, "Yo, can we use this song on the upcoming show with Amber Rose and stuff like that or whatever?" But the show ended up never leaving pre-production, so they never ended up using the song. But anyways, so 2017 started taking myself seriously as an artist because of that. And then, but I still wasn't doing enough until the label situation where other people came like, "Hey, you guys have talent. Like, let's just put it all together." Because I always had the idea of like having a label. Yeah. So then I got a couple of people, but they weren't too serious as artists. But then, long story short, we met with these other guys. I'm gonna give their nickname. It's Toro, Frankie, Marquise, and so we got together. It's like, we gotta move this because you guys have talent, and there's no way you guys. Yeah. So we got together. We formed a label, and during that time, from January of 2010 in January now, my growth and Blaine's growth has been like, we went from like from being playlisted by Spotify. I had like, the song ended up getting 300,000 streams in like a couple of years, right? But under the label where we were sitting down coming up with plans on how to move, I dropped a song that got 300,000 streams in 3 months. And like, the fans started coming out of nowhere, DMs, and it's the same thing for Blaine. Because like, the idea was, we're gonna come up with a blueprint on how to do this, and we're just gonna run with it. And then when the time comes and we have like, talking about like, when we're financially up there with like a couple of millions or whatever, we're gonna like sign on other people who are as talented and kind of like keep it pushing. You know what I mean? So yeah, so it's so that year was my biggest year as far as music goes, because like, I went from like 1,000 followers on IG to now like 4K. I mean, yeah, it's not a lot, but at the rate that I was moving before, it was super slow. And now the fans that I do have, like,
they're exponential, and they're real fans.
Yeah, like they're DMing me, asking like, "Yo, when is like?" I felt like it sounds so weird, because once you experience it, it's new, because you have people like hitting you up like, "Hey, my girlfriend loves your music. It's her birthday. Can you like give her a shout out? She would really love it." And so I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And like, "Oh, can you please give me a shout out because it's my," and you just hit like, and these people listen to your music all the time. Like, this guy said, "Bro, I've listened to your song Id. It's so good. I've had it on repeat for like 2 days straight." I'm like, yeah, cool, whatever, right? I'm like, I appreciate it, blah, blah. I thought he was exaggerating. Yeah. So the next day, I checked my stats. The song had 200 streams for that day, but like a handful of listeners. So I'm like, this is the motherfucker was playing. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, yo. So it's kind of like, it's amazing to see. I mean, clearly we're not at the level that we want to be yet, because we're trying to like take over. When I say take over, like, because Blaine Blaine and Davinci, the music they got, like they're not out yet, but the shit they got could easily compete with anybody that's out right now. I'm like, yo, so we're gonna get there. Like, so that's how the whole thing came together, and that's where we're at right now. So yeah,
you guys be putting out some stuff, both visually and like the music itself.
Yeah,
where it's like, it's about the promotions and stuff like that. At that point, you guys put out some good music.
Yeah. So
and like you said, I like that the goal is you guys have huge aspirations.
Mm-hmm.
You're not just doing this.
Just for some like
locally or whatever.
Yeah. Because we love the art, but at the same time, it's also a business. Like music, there's nothing else that I'd rather do than to create. Like the music, the visuals, like films and stuff like that, dope stuff. But at the same time, it's also a business where I don't want to work a 9 to 5. So this needs to bring me enough money for me to not do that. Yeah. So, it's a whole process trying to figure out, this whole thing. But sometimes it's really fun. Sometimes it can get super depressing. But, once you accept that it's a process, then, just go with it.
We call ourselves CiiiTY, but we global. And everybody that has a voice is allowed to be vocal.